going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another Bond's Apartment video. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine the 3 different sunglasses seen in the movie Spectre. That is different from Casino Royale, Quantum, and Skyfall. Don't quote me, but I think in Casino Royale we see maybe 1 pair, those Persols. Same with Quantum and Skyfall, 1 pair in each, both Tom Ford, aviator style. Then in Spectre, we get 3 different types of sunglasses. We've got 2 Tom Ford and 1 Vuarnet. So let's start with the first pair that we see, and that is the Tom Ford Snowdon. So when I first saw the film, I thought that this was probably my favorite look. I thought these looked best for Daniel Craig's face shape. I thought they looked best in the scene. The all-black outfit, obviously normal for a funeral. He just looks kind of like 1 step above how he normally looks. Just the whole way he's wearing that suit with the Tom Ford overcoat, everything about it is just great. But the one thing that's specific to me is the temple of these sunglasses is a lot thicker than I normally prefer. And this really, now that I own them, is not that thick of a frame, but I am more used to, and I'll pull these out and kind of cheat here, Tom Ford Henry, which is, I would say, this is easily more than half as small as the temple on these Snowdons. That's normally what I gravitate towards. But like I said, I think these look the best on him of the 3 that we see in the film. The one thing most people didn't understand, me being one of them, is they're not actually black. They're a darker tortoise. So the colorway is actually 52N. That is what is the most interesting about these, is you've got him head to toe, black everything. Black gloves, shoes, suit, tie, everything. But then the sunglasses are a very dark brown. Some people might think that's like a fashion faux pas. I don't think that is anymore. If it ever was, I really disagree. I don't think Janny, the costume designer, had the idea that Spectre is very heavily edited picture-wise. The cinematography and the editing, it kind of looks like it's got quite the filter on it. So a lot of things look a lot darker in that film than they actually are. For example, the next pair of sunglasses we'll talk about, those Vuarnet glacier goggles, they call them. That Tom Ford jacket he's got on, I always thought was black, and it's actually navy. So that kind of misconception was a theme throughout the entire film. I think these look great on him. I think they're a little fashion forward for 2015. Right now, this kind of smaller lens, and there's like some points, like a point up here, kind of a cat eye look. That is kind of all the rage right now in 2025. So of the 3, I think these are also the pair that aged the best. In my opinion, I think this is his best look. I'm kind of shocked. I actually think I pulled them off. I never thought I could. I'm sure people in the comments will let me know if I do or not. But now that I have them, I can't stop wearing them. And this kind of thicker temple, as I said, doesn't bother me at all. It actually kind of makes the sunglasses feel even more sturdy and well-made. So that is the first pair we see. That's the Tom Ford Snowdon. Now, although you might be seeing this Vuarnet box, I don't own the Vuarnet glacier goggles. But of course, who does? The man with one of the best Bond collections of all time, David Zaritsky. So David, if you can you please jump in here for me and tell us a little bit about the Vuarnet glacier goggles?
Thanks, Luke, for including me. You know, at first when you said 3 shades of Spectre, I translated it to 50 Shades of Gray, and I got a little nervous. So this is so much better. I'm talking about, of course, the Vuarnet sunglasses. When Daniel Craig comes to the Hoffler Clinic in Snowdon, Austria, he's wearing this Tom Ford jacket. He probably has this case right here, which looks very vintagey, and he's got the Vuarnet sunglasses. These are the same exact ones from the same season that he wears in the film that Gianni Tamine expertly picked out. Now, I have to tell you, when I first saw these, I thought they were a bit strange. I mean, they've got a very vintagey look. They've got these leather eye cups on, wait for it, that seal in all the juices, but it's supposed to be for when you're doing vintage skiing. For me, it looks a little bug-eyed, but I think for Bond, he's got a very kind of different look. He's got, for example, this on, which has a vintagey look. The Tom Ford pants themselves, the stirrup pants, have a vintage look to them. So it would look very strange if the sunglasses were your typical aviators or even tortoise shells like the ones you're talking about. No, this had to connect to the rest of the outfit and his look. And even that Hoffler Clinic has sort of a throwback feel to it. So I think these Vuarnets really fit the bill perfectly. Are they something that I would wear on a regular basis? No. And if I'm being very transparent, I haven't worn these outside the house. I wouldn't wear them for skiing because, well, I've got a really nice pair of anti-fogging goggles to do the trick. So these remain in my display as part of my props and accessories. But as far as a choice of what Bond is wearing during these tumultuous moments of entering into the Hoffler Clinic and even leaving it and dispatching some baddies, I think these are the right goggles, sunglasses from Vuarnet to wear. So well done, Janny. And Luke, I'll leave it back to you to talk about the rest of the sunglasses. Cheers.
Thank you for that, David, as always. And yes, 50 Shades of Grey, 3 Shades of Spectre on the thumbnail. You caught on to what I was doing there, but hopefully not. I'm sure there'll be, well, now there's of course going to be comments because we're talking about it. But one thing I want to point out too with those Vuarnets, say you're poking through David's collection and you're going film by film. If I see those sitting on his Spectre kind of desk in Spectre area, I would think these are one hell of a collector's item. They look like, they're so unique that they look like something that would be like made for a film, screen worn piece of collector prop, if you will. David's are screen accurate, not screen worn, but when you see them, you do think like, wow, those are actually really interesting. But I would never then say to David, hey, if we go out to dinner tonight, can I wear those? To me, those are strictly a collector's piece. Obviously, if you're a big skier, let me know if that's something you would wear on the slopes rather than actual kind of larger goggles, which I would say probably at least 75% of skiers are wearing those. I know probably more advanced skiers are just wearing sunglasses, but let me know if that's something you would actually do. But for me, I think that's just really a collector's item. So on to the last pair, we have the Tom Ford Henrys from the Desert Morocco scene. These I just got late last year, I believe, and these are the pair that I've been wearing nonstop. And as I said, a much thinner temple than the Snowdon. That is what I gravitate towards. To kind of backtrack, the Snowdon, I think, is his best look by far when it comes to the 3 different looks with the sunglasses. The Vuarnets are probably the most practical, like it's a really excellent choice by the costume designer to choose those sunglasses. It makes total sense. But this look, I think, is by far kind of like the biggest home run, the one that just makes the most sense. So in this scene, he's wearing Brunello Cucinelli kind of blazer, Brunello Cucinelli chinos, brown Brunello belt. Everything's very vintage, very Italian. Like they're playing up this vintage look. He's got a knitted tie on. Even Madeline Swan's outfit, very vintage looking. But they get off like an old-timey type train, like a very old school train. And then of course what pulls up to take them to Christoph Waltz Blofeld's lair, if you will, is a very old vintage Rolls Royce. So every aspect of this, yes, color-wise, they're probably thinking he's in the desert. Let's kind of get him to blend in with the choice of clothing. He doesn't need to be wearing a full-on Tom Ford suit. However, I think the fact that she went with this vintage Wayfarer frame, same kind of colorway, like a lighter tortoise, every aspect of it just makes total sense. Like I said, I haven't had these very long and I've been wearing them all winter, now into the spring. I really love these Snowdons though, so I'm going to have to try to force myself to alternate. But these Snowdons have kind of taken over my #1 spot. But with all that said, Snowdons are my overall favorite look. The Vuarnets make the most sense. I don't know if you can hear the baby crying. God, you would think she would be like, you know what, my dad's making a video, maybe I should pipe it down. But anyways, these Tom Ford Henrys in the Morocco scene, I think are the most well put together, like 100% home run by Janny, the costume designer. So thank you guys for watching. David, thank you, of course, for jumping in, talking about the Vuarnets. Let me know what you guys think of these 3 pairs of sunglasses, one of them goggles, in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.